This is Mount Connections, and right now we have Alexis Schomer in studio from LA. She's the CEO of Simply Branded. Looking forward to getting to know Alexis. Thanks for being here today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's been great traveling here. I'm so excited to do this with you.
And we're looking forward to meeting you and hearing more about your story. So let's start there, actually. Tell me about where you've been and where you're going.
Sure. So my whole journey pretty much started during my senior year at California Lutheran University when I launched my first tech company. So launched a startup, and we didn't really have the funding to do our own marketing, so I took on that responsibility and started doing the marketing for our own company. Naturally, by doing that, I was approached by other startups, other community members, asking for help with their marketing. So that's really the generation of Simply Branded. I started helping out others in the community, and that business ended up growing and becoming its own digital marketing agency. So I ended up exiting that first company back in 2018, and now I'm doing Simply Branded full time, and that's pretty much how everything came together.
I have to say that's a very bold move as a senior in college to start your own company. How did you go about doing that, and what made you decide to take that huge, I'm sure, terrifying step?
So I've always wanted to be a business owner. Didn't necessarily know what type of business or what industry, but during my senior year I explored more of the entrepreneurship side and joined the entrepreneurship club, took an entrepreneurship class, and that really opened up my mind to the entire entrepreneurship world, which to me is about solving problems and creating things that didn't exist before. So what pretty much propelled me into my first business was winning a competition called Startup Weekend, where we get together, pitch ideas, and we have 54 hours to create the business. So my team ended up winning that, and we actually won $10,000 for our idea and started the business and then never looked back.
Oh, well, that's really exciting that you're able to win that competition. 54 hours, you must have been exhausted.
Oh yeah, yeah. We didn't sleep much. We just focused on research and putting the presentation together the entire weekend. So gave up all social life, gave up doing homework and studying, just focused on that.
Well, and I also like to ask about, before college, was this something that you wanted to do? Be your own business, be your own boss, go into entrepreneurship, or did you have different ideas about your career?
So I actually wanted to be a lawyer most of my life. And then once I worked in 2 different law firms, I decided to not go that route. But I always had the business and entrepreneurial mindset. And I'd been pretty much a leader my whole life, leading either sports or I was captain of cheerleading. So I've always kind of been in that role and position. And once I had the opportunity to really explore that path in college, then that's when I started my own business.
So now you're CEO of Simply Branded, which is more than a digital marketing company.
Yeah, we help pretty much all stage companies, from solopreneurs to larger companies that are needing ongoing marketing, and we help at all stages as well. So initial design and branding, website development, social media management, other types of advertising and design work. So everything on the spectrum, we're a one-stop shop for digital marketing.
But I know you pride yourself on being more than just helping with marketing, more than just an assistant within these businesses.
Of course. In addition to the marketing services itself, I love consulting clients, helping with strategy, and also mentoring younger entrepreneurs, especially other women students in college. I love helping them kind of figure out their path and launch their initial ideas too.
And not only are you doing all of that and have done all of these great things, but you're also an author.
Yeah, so I released 2 books. I co-authored 2 books. They both hit bestseller. And the inspiration of that was kind of what we've been talking about. My chapter in the book is called It's Never Too Early to Pursue Your Business, Hacks for Studentpreneurs. So it's about starting your business early, utilizing the resources during college or as a student, because you have so many resources available that once you hit the real world and graduate, they kind of go away. So it's about taking advantage of your youth and the resources available and starting early.
And that's an important aspect of this, because I think many students feel like they don't have the resources, in fact.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely felt that way at first as well, feeling overwhelmed, a lot of responsibilities. You might have a job while you're in school, you have homework and tests, but at the same time, you don't have responsibilities that you do later in life, such as maybe a mortgage or feeding a family. So it's also a nice way to take advantage of your youth, and in addition, the resources at different universities could be things like free printing, office hours with teachers, or other perks that your university can offer you.
And what is it about assisting young individuals, first-time entrepreneurs, people who are just starting their careers, that really attracts you and is something that you really enjoy doing?
Because I wouldn't have been able to do it without the mentors in my life, and especially if you don't come from a family of entrepreneurship or maybe multiple businesses, then you really rely on the mentors around you and the people that surround you when you're in school. So that otherwise, I wouldn't have had also the kind of the exposure to the industry. So I want to give back in the same way that people gave back to me when I was younger in school, and that's why I like mentoring even high school students and college students especially.
So you're a mentor, CEO of Simply Branded, best-selling author. What's next for you, Alexis? What do you think you might be doing the next year, 5 years down the road?
So definitely continuing with Simply Branded. It's besides being my main business, it's also my passion. And I've done an exercise where if you wake up and you have, unlimited money, what would you do every day? And I still would do the marketing work that I do because I love helping clients and helping other businesses achieve their goals. So definitely sticking with this, and potentially a couple other things on the horizon, but not going to talk about that yet because it's a little premature.
I love that thought. If money wasn't a problem at all, what would you do? Mm-hmm. That's a great way to really think about your dreams and hopefully make those first steps to achieving them.
Exactly, and it also kind of puts into perspective, if what you're doing now is what you really enjoy, would you still be doing this if you didn't have to worry about money? So I like doing that exercise at least every year, if not twice a year, just to make sure I'm still on path with my passions.
Right, what needs to change? What resources can you find? Are you on the right path? All those things are so important.
Exactly, yeah.
And I know at Simply Branded you have a new campaign that you just launched. Tell me about that.
So social media has been huge, especially since the pandemic. And what I've seen my clients struggle with often is how to stay consistent on social media, what to post about. So I developed a content strategy session that I've been actually doing with clients one-on-one for over a year now. But I developed a masterclass so that I can offer this to more people and make it more available. And basically what it covers is what content you need to be writing about in order to increase engagement, get your account more exposure, what types of hashtags you should be using, how to develop your hashtag strategy. So we dive into pretty much all of the must-knows and do's and don'ts of social media, how to really pull together that content strategy so you're not struggling when you're creating content for the day or for the month or for the year.
And as far as Simply Branded, how would you describe your ideal client? You mentioned there's many different people that utilize your services and benefit from them, but is it more for a bigger company, smaller company, individuals? Who would it be for?
So I've been industry agnostic since I've started, and I really love working with people that are starting off because I can help them develop that strategy from the beginning. So often what I see with larger companies or people that have been in business for, let's say, 3 to 7 years is that they're burnt out from working with agencies that have burned them out. So that's why I like getting them from the beginning, so I can be there. They don't have to waste money on agencies that are charging thousands a month without results. So being there from the beginning, developing the brand from day one, which is the number one step that I take, and then using that brand to develop everything else. So I love the solopreneur, I love the small business, and because I love working with people where I can just see the passion in their eyes and hear their story and help the business come to fruition from day one.
And the importance of developing that brand, of having this marketing strategy for any business, you really can't emphasize that enough.
I know, and that's why I told you that coming in at a later stage, you kind of have to go back and redo steps, because if people skip the initial brand, then what are you building your business on? Like, people don't understand that that's the core of everything you do. So if you're creating content but you don't have a brand, it just doesn't make sense. So you really need to start, you need to build that structure for your business and the infrastructure for basically your entire brand, from the colors to like the tagline to really the beliefs and core values of the brand. So yeah, it is definitely important and sometimes overlooked, and because people get too excited and just want to jump in, but without a brand, like, you don't really have a full business.
So Alexis, where can we get more information about you, about Simply Branded, your book, all the things?
Yeah, so my website for Simply Branded is simply-branded.com, very simple. And then for my personal book, you can go to my website, alexisschomer.com.
Perfect. You're easy to find. Very inspiring. Thank you so much for being here. I love your passion, and really, I know there's many people that look up to you that are going to be able to fulfill their dreams because of your example. So thank you for being here today.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. You'll have to come back.
Okay.
All right. You can find out more about Alexis Schomer at Simply Branded or her website. Encourage you to find out more, read her book, be inspired by her journey and everything that she knows about branding and also about fulfilling your dreams. We'll be back with more here on Mountain Connections right after this.